Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. We were together about 9 months. I thought things were going great, until about a month ago when, out of the blue, she told me we need to break up. I was super confused and asked why she said that. She told me that I wasn't attentive enough and that she deserved better. I was confused, angry, and hurt, all at the same time. I thought I was paying her the right amount of attention, but obviously she didn't think so. I would have fought for our relationship and paid more attention, but when she said she could do better, that really riled me up. I cut all contacts with her. I'm talking about unfollowing and blocking her on all accounts, deleting all of her contact information from all of my devices, and deleting our texts. I was to the point that even if I wanted to contact her, I couldn't, unless I drove to her place. I spent the month in pain, and I'll admit, I cried a few times. Her words that she could do better haunted me. Last night there was a knock on my door, and when I opened it, there she was. She tried asking me how I'm doing, but I cut her off and asked her what she wants. Basically, she said I failed her test and that she was expecting me to pay more attention to her, not go no contact. She also said I need to do better since she's taking me back. I closed the door in her face, and she spent the next 10 minutes begging me to talk. She and her friends texted me the entire night, basically saying that it's normal for women to test their men and that I'm overreacting. They said that normally they start out with small tests, but my ex jumped the gun and went for the big test because she saw us together for a long time and wanted to make sure I was the one. I never answered any of them and blocked every number that texted me. Am I overreacting? She's only the second serious girlfriend I've had. There are two possibilities. One, it was a test, and she messed with OP in a not normal way to manipulate and control him. Or two, she wanted to date someone else, but it didn't work out, so now she's using the test nonsense as an excuse. So these aren't tests. These are games. And if she's playing games, then she clearly isn't mature enough for a serious relationship. So good for OP, because she showed her true colors. And now let's see if the community agrees with me. RGW Fun says, what they did was incredibly immature, manipulative, toxic, and if we can be honest, ducking stupid. I mean, I guess it's nice she wasn't really expecting you to fail her test, but that also says a lot about what kind of person she is. That she would make someone feel the kind of pain you're feeling now, on purpose, just to ducking toy with them on a foregone conclusion. Cut off contact. If she does get her claws into you, tell her your primary relationship is with yourself, and you can't disrespect yourself by allowing her back into your life. Congratulations, you passed the test, not the a-hole. OK Distribution says, dumbest thing ever. She wanted another guy. It didn't work out. Now she's back. Not the a-hole. Block her and her friends, and go get the revenge of living your life well. Funny Wafer says, not the a-hole. Tell her that she failed your test, and that you're going to look for a nice person to date. What nonsense. My husband, male 35, and I, female 25, have a 6-year-old daughter. He has another daughter, 9. When she comes home, I always try to make her feel comfortable around me, our daughter. However, her mom is clearly poisoning her against me and my daughter because my stepdaughter doesn't want to listen to me. She's mean and has even called me names, which is why I know that her mom has been talking badly about me with her, because she has already called me affair partner and Daddy's W. Okay, I spoke about this with my husband, and he has tried to solve the problem, but didn't work out. She's on therapy. As long as she was only telling me these things, I tolerate it, because she obviously is a child and has a problem. However, she has started to treat my daughter similarly too. The other day she was at home. My husband was working. She insulted my daughter, and I don't need anyone to tell me what happened because I heard her. So I told her that was wrong. She told me that I'm not her mom, so I can't tell her what to do. That she's going to tell her mom, and she's going to be upset with me. I told her that this is my house, and I'm an adult, so she needs to listen to me and apologize. As she didn't, I made her sit on a chair in the dining room with no toys and without her iPad, which her mother bought. When my husband came home, his daughter cried and told him I was being mean with her and that I stole her iPad. My husband clearly didn't believe it, so she demanded that he take her back to her mom's house. Her mom made a very huge deal about having her again and said that I can't punish her daughter because I'm a nobody. She threatened to take my husband back to court and cut his custody time. Now I'm getting in some negative reactions from my husband's side of the family because they think I want to purposely push his daughter out of the picture. My husband is agreeing with me in all of this, but I'm pregnant, so his family thinks that's why he's doing it, and not because he believes I'm actually right. I also don't know if maybe my hormones are making me act up. Am I the a-hole? Well, I might have an unpopular opinion, but it looks like everyone is calling OP an a-hole here. I think even if OP is the affair partner, the mother of his child should not have dragged her kid into this mess. Children shouldn't participate in adults' drama, and her mother should not be poisoning her against OP and her father. That's just wrong. All the adults should do is protect the child from any information that might upset or hurt her. I think OP needs to put her anger and feelings aside for her kid, and not have them fighting their battles. And now let's hear the community's opinion. CB197 says, so a 29-year-old had an affair with a 19-year-old, and then ditched his wife for this kid when she got pregnant. And now she's shocked that the betrayed partner and child aren't into playing happy families. Do I have that right? Hospital Correct says, slightly you're the a-hole. It sounds like you're the affair partner, so obviously there will be some pushback. Yes, she should not be calling you those names, and she more than likely has heard those names from her mother. She's a child in therapy, and hopefully that will work soon, but you must expect some sort of retaliation if you're the affair partner. Again, I'm not saying that those actions are right. You didn't write what was said to your daughter, so it could be an overreaction. Her father needs to speak with her and should sort out punishments as it's his child. Well, this is dumb says, everyone sucks here. Putting a child in a chair with nothing to do for 2 hours isn't discipline. Next time, just separate them until your husband comes home. Your husband sucks for cheating and then not supporting his daughter as she's wrestling with his betrayal and the new family he seems to be choosing over her. His ex sucks for sharing her justified pain and bitterness over her awful husband with her daughter. I know how the title sounds, and I don't blame anyone for thinking this is fake. I myself often think this when I read some stories on here. So please, if you are reading this and thinking this is fake, please go to the next post because I really do need help with unbiased opinions. Thank you. I, 24 female, am an identical twin. Very few can tell me and my sister apart if you don't know us well. I'll call my sister for the sake of this post Madison. Growing up, we were poor. It was a constant struggle for my parents. I started working as soon as I could to help contribute financially towards bills. Madison was more focused on how she looked, and to be honest, a gold digger. I was more career-focused. I ended up moving to the city to live with my cousin for better job opportunities. I ended up getting a good job and decided to stay in the city, and I would send back money for my parents and grandparents who also lived with my parents. I ended up getting a good job and decided to stay in the city, and I would send back money for my parents and grandparents who also lives with my parents, which allowed them to move to better housing. Or so I thought. I would visit whenever I could. Every time I visited, Madison always had a new boyfriend. She lived with her boyfriend and, according to my parents, didn't want to get a job. So she lived off the boyfriends. 4 days ago, my parents rang me up in a panic, saying they needed me to come home. I asked why, and they said your sister cheated on her fiancé and we need you to cover for her. This was the first time I was hearing about Madison being engaged. They went on to say he was rich, and he had been allowing them to stay for free in one of his parents' rental properties because of Madison. This shocked me, because they had been telling me that the money that I had been sending them was paying for the home they had been living in. After I blew up about them lying to me about the money I had been sending them, and they reluctantly admitted that they had been giving it to Madison. I was so angry. I said no and ended the call. Ever since then, my parents and Madison constantly tried to get in contact with me, and telling me that if I don't say it was me that her fiancé's sister caught cheating, then my parents will be homeless, and I will ruin the better life that her fiancé can provide for her and them. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I don't want my grandparents to be homeless. But at the same time, I don't want to be the one to take the blame for being the one who cheated with a married man and ruin my reputation back home. Actions have consequences. I think both OP's twin and parents need to learn this. This is much more than OP's reputation on the line. OP also doesn't want to be the one compromising her sense of moral self by lying to cover for someone else. OP's parents and sister are liars, cheats, entitled, and have no morals. If OP goes with their lies, she would be no better than them. So OP needs to find her backbone and stop being taken for a fool by her parents and sister. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Time Environmental 687 says, "If you do this, you're the biggest fool walking. In fact, you should message the fiancé and tell him the truth about what is going on. Your parents have to learn, and you need to come to terms with the fact that your parents are not good people. They could have had a residence if they were using the money as they told you. So you need to pull up your big girl panties and put your foot down." To Whom It May Concern says, "Not the a-hole. Cut them out of your life. Seriously, screw them. They lied to you and took advantage of you. They are endorsing cheating and lying. They are enabling your sister and giving her your money. They are trying to pressure you to lie about having S with someone to help your sister cheat. They are garbage, your parents and your sister." So, for context, me and my girlfriend have been together for a very long time. Everything is perfect. However, lately she and I haven't been able to see each other as often as we would like. She is busy with finishing her school, and I myself have been very busy with work. So we planned a vacation together as soon as we finally had time for one another. We planned a vacation to a country we have both never been to, and where an old friend of hers lives. Let's refer to her as B. B is someone who I personally despise. She's a textbook narcissist, as well as having cheated on her boyfriend multiple times, who for the record is a pretty stand-up guy. As soon as we were planning the vacation, it became apparent that we were going to pay this friend of hers a visit, seeing as we're there anyway, and well as the fact that B's birthday is coming during our vacation. I of course thought little of it. We'll pay her a visit for her birthday, eat some cake, and break open a bottle of wine. You know, the usual. My girlfriend knows that I despise B, but she also knows that I can play nice. I mean, it's just a day. Or so I thought. A couple weeks before our departure, she informed me that two other friends of hers, let's call them C and D, were also going to this same country during the same time as our trip. Once again, I thought little of it. Maybe they heard we were going, and seeing as the trip is quite cheap, perhaps they wanted to go as well. Then I was told that they were on the same flight as us. Fine, I thought. I can deal with that. We'll have to travel with them for a little while, but after that, it's finally just me and my girlfriend getting the quality time we deserve. Then, just days prior, I found out that C and D are in the same hotel as us. In fact, they are in the exact opposite room as ours. Strange, I thought, but perhaps another coincidence. Our hotel is quite cheap, so maybe they happened to book the same one as us, and the room was just a coincidence. 2 days ago, we finally arrived, and that's when I finally learned the truth of this vacation. She had made plans with her friends on every single day. There was no time or opportunity for me to be alone with my partner. In fact, B was also going to be with us every day. In fact, she was the one who made most of the plans for our group, which I never agreed to. And of course, B chose all kinds of things that I despise. B despises me as much as I despise her, seeing as I'm the one who exposed her cheating to her boyfriend a long time ago. Now my girlfriend expects me to do everything she and her friends are going to do, which I don't want to. I wanted to have a nice, calm vacation with my partner after months of us not being together. It honestly feels like she has no respect for me anymore. I talked to her about it, and she just said she doesn't know what else to do, and she doesn't want to disappoint her friends. Honestly, I'm at a loss here. I'm considering just booking a solo ticket back without telling my girlfriend, and just leaving as soon as possible. It feels like I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm the fifth wheel with people I don't even like, especially not B. I'm just beyond angry. Miralev says, she doesn't want to disappoint her friends, but that you're disappointed doesn't count. Why are her friends more important than you? Who Won't says, man, I would bounce, especially if she already knew you hated her friend. She doesn't seem to care or want to spend time with you. Sorry, man. 3D Squinting says, my condolences on your newfound unplanned singleness. If your girlfriend considers a cheating narcissist as a good friend, it says bad things about her, on top of the fact that this whole thing shows that she prioritizes time with her friends over time with you. She obviously could balance the two, but she didn't try to, and that also says something, regardless of whether or not your intent or goals for the vacation were made clear, and regardless of whether or not it's intentional or subconscious. Cut your losses and get out. My wife and I have cut relationships off here and there as we've grown as people and presented our concerns about each other's relationships. We do not allow people in our lives who cause drama between us. We've also made new healthy relationships as we've gone along in life, as opposed to constantly narrowing our circles over time. Background info. I, male 41, am a white American, and my boyfriend, male 38, is Moroccan and half black. His parents took a dislike to me the moment we met. We've been together for 2 years, and he lives in America. The incident in question took place a few days ago. This is only my second time meeting his parents. His mother has been relatively quiet, but it's obvious she feels the same as his father, who is on an all-out warpath. They think I'm a typical useless American party boy and not good enough for their son, who is an all-around goody two-shoes. They are wealthy government employees who think that they're contributing a lot to the world, unlike me. Now, it is important to note that I am also wealthy, self-made, and high-ranking in my career, so I'm not attempting to get on any gravy train. My boyfriend and I are staying at their home in Morocco. The 4 of us sat down for dinner, cooked by their private chef. Everybody got a bowl of some Moroccan food that smelled really good. I noticed that mine looked paler than the others and didn't have as much of a smell. I didn't comment at first, but then his father outright said, as if he was doing me a favor, that he told the chef to put a portion for me aside before they added any of the seasoning, because he thought that my palate wouldn't handle the spice well. I have no issues with spicy food. I could tell that my boyfriend was already uncomfortable, and he told his father that I could eat what they're eating. I managed to keep my cool, despite being really pissed off, and told him in no uncertain terms that I could handle spicy food. Next thing, he took my food and went back to the kitchen. When he returned, my food was a shade darker than everyone else's. I realized after the first bite that it wasn't just spicy, it was inedible. My boyfriend noticed my reaction and told his father off before telling me to stop eating it. But I didn't. I ate the damn food, and I have never in my life eaten anything like it. There must have been an entire bottle of hell in it. The pain. But I persevered, much to my boyfriend's protests. His father simply watched. I was sweating buckets, felt sick, almost had an asthma attack. Another reason that my boyfriend was angry with me, because I put myself at risk. But I ate the whole bowl. Then I left the table victorious, but dying to death. Fast forward. I've been in bed for 3 days, still feel messed up, may not survive. My boyfriend says I should have been the bigger person, and that there were no winners. That eating the whole bowl was as childish as his father was for serving it, and harmed only me. He's been taking care of me, but he's also blaming me. I don't think I was the a-hole, even if the last 3 days of our vacation have gone down the drain. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I'm not sure that I made it clear enough. The food was taken, and he intentionally made it inedible. My boyfriend argued with his father afterwards. Anyway, I appreciate the comments, and they cheered me up. I am an a-hole, and I will apologize to my boyfriend. The comments about him picking a man like his father have really bothered me. I will take that advice to heart. Also, I love the concern for my a-hole. I have a hard road ahead, but it will be okay. Update. I have apologized and I am forgiven. I punished myself enough for his liking. But he agrees that his father is an a-hole, and he could stand up for me more. I'm out now. Appreciate the responses and the laughs. The Borg blog says, not the a-hole, but yes, you did not need to prove a point and put your health at risk. You should have thanked him graciously in the first place for trying to be considerate. But I get you have your pride thing going too, and wanted to be clear, you did not need to be babied. Discount Mithril says, everyone sucks here. His family for playing stupid games, but also you for taking the petty road. Next time be more gracious, and tell them if they can't find it in their hearts to be a civil host to someone that loves and cares for their son as much as they do, then you will decline the invite. Play crappy games, win crappy prizes.